So we all know if you're a rental owner and you had affordable units in your building, and again, when I say affordable, I just mean generally, your units were renting out for, $1,100 or less, something along those lines. You might be familiar with Cook County Class 9 program. If you're not, that's fine. I'll just cut to the chase and say that program used to be an incentive to invest in your building and create affordable units, but it stopped being effective about 10 or 12 years ago. And so that's when the Preservation Compact was getting started. And we said, what we can do is get all these folks together and talk about a new property tax incentive that works kind of like that other one worked. And that's how it came about. And it follows a lot of the same general guidelines as the Class 9 program. It says you have to invest in your building, and I can talk about exactly how much that is. It says you have to keep a certain portion of your units affordable, and I can talk about how that works. And it says you have to do that for 10 years, and you can renew for up to 30 years. So that's the general outline of the program. You have to invest, you have to keep some units affordable, and then you get a certain reduction, depending on those first two things, on your assessed valuation.
So Stacy, that's awesome. Can we do specifics? Like, would you mind, you said you can talk about examples. Can you either do like a recent one that you guys did, or I think our listeners would love to know like the actual numbers.
Absolutely. So the one that is going to be most like that old program is a requirement that you invest at least $12.50 per square foot in your property, right? It could be new construction too, but $12.50 investment in rehab, and that you hold 35% of your units affordable to folks who earn less than 60% of AMI, which just means round about $900 to $1,200 a month. And again, depending on your bedroom size, depending on a lot of things. That's the biggest incentive. And then that reduces your assessed valuation by 35%. There's another, and then there's another one, same thing. If you invest $8.50 a square foot, if you hold 15% of your units affordable at that same level, you get a 25% reduction off of your assessed valuation. So those two are going to be, it's self-selection. So you decide. To me, if you already have a building that is in a low value market, right? A low cost market, you probably have rents at about those levels anyway. So that 35% reduction is probably what you'll go for. You'll increase, maybe you were planning to do a rehab. You're going to make sure that rehab is at least $12.50 a square foot in order to qualify, which is great because we need investment in those neighborhoods. You hold 35% of your units affordable, and you get a 35% reduction in your assessed value. Same is true for that other tier that I mentioned. There's a third tier I'm happy to talk about. It's a little bit different because it only applies downtown, but I'm happy to talk about that one too.
So, and this can be done like on a 2-unit or a 3-unit, even like on a smaller scale?
No.
As long as you're hitting those numbers?
That is a very good question, Tom. No, it has to be 7 units or more, but I will say this. If you got a 6 flat and you're going to invest in a basement unit and you're creating a 7 flat, which now qualifies, that counts. So again, a straight 6 flat, unfortunately, according to the assessor's office, because the way they classify properties, will not be eligible. But if you invest in that basement unit to create a 7-unit property, then it does qualify. So again, 7 units and above.